Well, he's turned around. I like how they make so much noise, and no one hears them because it was non-lethal. Oh, is this one of those cases where they have like something on their body to disable the beams when they have to walk through it? Let's make this a great deal easier. Ah, they do! Excellent. Okay. Well, that simplifies things. I don't want to mess with those detonators, though. I wish those mines had the same principles as the LAMs and EMP grenades and shit from the last game. Well, thank you for cooperating. Most corpses are not so easy to maneuver. Oh, well, bugger me with a fish fork. Alright, I've got 2 things to capture. I feel like I'm gonna get detected, so I might as well take that now. Oh, wow. It would have been poetic irony. Like the thing I was trying to use to save me is actually what got me detected. But I was not detected at all. Elite skills. There we go! Still have to worry about the mines. Are there more this way? There are. Why? Why are there more mines? Well... yeah, I figured that would happen.
You drag his ass.
That was not ideal, but it worked. Not really sure what I was supposed to do then. I mean, detonating that was unavoidable. If I tried to walk this way, that thing would blow up. And this is precisely where I need to be, so what's the dealio? There's nothing I could have done. I mean, let's just see. Well, when's the last save? This doesn't tell me anything, does it? Fuck it. Okay, so... I mean, like I said, there's no getting past that thing. I'm gonna have to detonate it one way or another. There's still a way I can get through this without causing too much havoc. Oh wow, I'm completely covered here. I didn't know that. I mean, we can let them think that that thing just somehow short-circuited and blew up on its own. That's how I would rationalize it. Now Sandoval is in our grasp.
And this is why I urge every member of my staff, every man and woman dedicated to the true mission of the Humanity Front, to do the same. Isaias, if you're watching this, I beg you, do not allow misplaced anger to destroy everything we have struggled to achieve.
It's over. He knows I can't come back from that.
Everybody knows, Sandoval. You can't hide from what you've done.
What I've done, Mr. Jensen. I spent years patching people back together from augmentation botch jobs and systemic organ rejection brought on by implants. And now, because of Bill's betrayal, I'll never practice medicine again.
You really want to help someone? Tell me where Sarif's scientists are.
I wish I could, Mr. Jensen. But my involvement ended right after I failed to remove their GPLs.
You failed?
Turns out, my surgical skills weren't good enough to bypass David Sarif's insurance policy. So for all I know, those little implants are broadcasting right now, on a frequency so low your network specialist wouldn't think to look for it.
You changed the frequencies.
You have your answers, Mr. Jensen. And I've lost all of mine. The courts may think I have much to atone for, but my court will be a higher one.
How about I take that gun with me when I go?
You got everything you came for. Please, just leave.
Believe it or not, I'd rather you didn't kill yourself.
That's because you have no idea what tortures I've endured. The guilt, the shame. I was told the scientists would be used to find a peaceful solution to the augmentation crisis. Instead, I was involved in kidnapping and murder. My life ended that night. It's time for me to go.
Think about it. Are you really in such a hurry to face that higher court of yours?
At least there are no lies before God. Did you see that abominable press conference? William Taggart all but accused me of terrorism. He claimed that all the violence committed in the name of our cause was the result of my influence.
So stay alive long enough to tell him your side of the story.
He already knows it isn't true. I trusted that man. For years I gave him loyal service, and he betrayed me. He sacrificed my freedom and good name to save the reputation of his organization. It's no use fighting him. He'll just spin it again. At least if I die, he'll never be able to use me again.
So tell your side of the story to the press. Swear at your trial that you're a better person than him. You want a peaceful solution to the augmentation crisis? Every camera in the country is going to be pointed at you. Use it to make a case. Convince people.
Bill Taggart already controls public opinion. You can try to lift my spirit all you want, Mr. Jensen, but the facts don't change. My whole life, all I ever wanted to do was help people. But as a doctor, I couldn't heal those who'd already replaced their natural body parts. So I joined Humanity Front. But we weren't making any progress. Those scientists represented my last chance at having a meaningful life, and I failed!
I hear what you're saying. You care too much. I know what that's like. Too well. Because I've been there. You want to fix everything right away. You want it so much you start trying too hard. Trust me, if you deal with the smaller, easier stuff first, the big things don't look so big.
On the other hand, if you break an infinite problem into smaller pieces, you still have an infinite number of pieces to contend with. Ever since the kidnapping, I've been haunted, knowing I'm partly responsible for innocent people losing their lives. The shame I feel, the guilt. I'm a mass murderer. I can't even look my wife in the eyes knowing that. I have destroyed everything.
You think you're a failure, but you're not. You're just a man who doesn't understand his own potential yet. You can still channel your regrets into something positive. Be an example. Teach people why violence isn't the answer. You've suffered way too much to let all that experience go to waste.
You think you know more about my suffering than I do? You want me to teach others? Tomorrow morning, the news is going to report that Isaias Sandoval, murderer, killed himself because of what he did. That will be my lesson to the world.
I fucked up. So yeah, and that's how the persuasion system is pretty difficult in this game. It's always changing, so you can't use the same answer every time. Every time you play the game again, he'll have a different reaction to the same choices. And if you had the social enhancer augmentation, you could just end it without really any effort whatsoever. And I just don't think that's really the right way out. It's no fun.
How about I take that gun with me when I go?
You got everything you came for. Please, just leave.
Believe it or not, I'd rather you didn't kill yourself.
That's because you have no idea what tortures I've endured. The guilt, the shame. I was told the scientists would be used to find a peaceful solution to the augmentation crisis. Instead, I was involved in kidnapping and murder. My life ended that night. It's time for me to go.
Think about it. Are you really in such a hurry to face that higher court of yours?
At least there are no lies before God. Did you see that abominable press conference? William Taggart all but accused me of terrorism. He claimed that all the violence committed in the name of our cause was the result of my influence.
So stay alive long enough to tell him your side of the story.
He already knows it isn't true. I trusted that man. For years I gave him loyal service, and he betrayed me. He sacrificed my freedom and good name to save the reputation of his organization. It's no use fighting him. He'll just spin it again. At least if I die, he'll never be able to use me again.
So that's your plan? Just lay down and die so you can't be used again? That's bullshit. You need to face what's coming. There's a very thin line between martyr and victim, Sandoval. And if you pull the trigger, you won't be remembered as either.
You certainly like taking chances, Mr. Jensen. But your point has merit. Maybe I did give up too easily. Early on, I decided my life's purpose was to help people. But I failed as a doctor. Because by the time I see augmentation patients, it's too late. So I went to Humanity Front. And that wasn't improving anyone either. I was an idiot to think this would turn out differently from everything else I've tried.
I hear what you're saying. You care too much. I know what that's like. Too well. Because I've been there. You want to fix everything right away. You want it so much you start trying too hard. Trust me, if you deal with the smaller, easier stuff first, the big things don't look so big.
I care too much? I try too hard? Your empathy would be touching if it wasn't so condescending. I just told you everything I touch ends in failure. Don't tell me you know what that's like. I'm a killer. Every morning when I wake up, it's my first thought of the day. I was involved in a plan that directly resulted in mass murder. And since then, I've been condemned to live apart from humanity. I can't even face the woman I love. I can't face anyone.
We all have problems, Sandoval. We all have something to atone for. You, me, even Taggart. Your wife will understand that, as will the rest of your family. They'd rather see you live and atone for what you've done than watch you die in shame. Whatever lies ahead, they aren't gonna let you face it alone.
I wish I had your certainty, Mr. Jensen. But you are correct. For the sake of my family, I must give this another try. Take the gun. I don't need it anymore.
Pritchard, get this. The GPLs are still transmitting. Sandoval switched them to a lower frequency.
But they could be broadcasting anywhere in the world. I don't have the type of equipment we'll need to find them.
It's our only lead, Pritchard. You have to do something.
I know. Listen, the riot's still blocking the street entrance. Head back to your apartment and Malik will fly you over. Maybe by the time you get here, I'll have figured out something.
Right, so I screwed up the second option, but it still worked out in the end. I'm not too sure what's going on. Like, you really have to... You have to really tap into the subtle cues of what he's saying to understand the right way to approach it, and obviously I did not do that perfectly well, but we made it in the end after after getting a second chance. And so if you had the social enhancer, you could pretty much you could just toy with him, like with his regrets and his feelings for his family, and that wouldn't work out well at all because you just kind of feel like he would cave in the end, but you would pretty much just be exploiting his emotions to keep him alive, and he would never really approve of it. Like, not just his emotions, but his dedication, and he would just be really bitter towards you. And in this case, it at least turned out vaguely positive.
Hey, listen, about earlier, I'm sorry, I was steamed, you know?
It's all cool. Shit's been hitting the fan left and right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're about to hit the really tough part. If you guys remember, in the original Deus Ex, there was a section of the game where if you played your cards right, if you let things progress as they naturally would, it would result in Jock, your helicopter pilot, dying. And this game has a sort of similar segment, although it's much more open and direct, and I believe that's the section we're about to walk into, so I have to kind of figure out my approach to this. So it's not going to be easy.
Nice detective work, Jensen. You ready to return to HQ?
Yup.
Yeah. Let's hope Pritchard's found that frequency.
You said it.
I did say it. This really isn't important.
Hey, I got a message for you, Jensen. From Pritchard. He says he's not in the office.
Great. So what exactly am I supposed to do?
I don't know. He said you should check in with the boss.
Oh, Seraph, that silver-tongued devil. Let's check in with my office first, though. See if anything new is going on there. Mandrake. Says I got 3 new ones. Another family vibe. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Who are you talking about? Heather Stitchner. Alright, so I kind of forgot about this, but there's running concerns about theft in the office, so I already forgot what room it was. 33? That's not a 3. No. Ah, it's you. Alright, Heather. Let's see what shenanigans you've been up to. I mean, what exactly? Oh, I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's an actual quest, so I guess it's nothing to actually worry about. What? Who the hell are you?
Seraph?
David's just stepped out for a moment, Mr. Jensen. But do come in. I've been hoping to meet you.
Mr. Darrow. I'm surprised you even know who I am.
David speaks very highly of you. He says that when it comes to detective work, you are like a dog with a bone. Have you found your scientist yet?
What else did David tell you?
Over the years, plenty. But today I'm here as a friend and fellow scientist. Things are getting quite turbulent out there, wouldn't you agree? So many people drunk on revolution. The United Nations being urged to intervene. And all because of the technology I created.
Things have come a long way since then.
Haven't they? And now my old friend David wants me to lead us to the Promised Land. He's asked me to invite members of the UN to Panchaea, to convince them we don't need industry regulation.
Your geoengineering project in the Arctic Ocean.
The installation couldn't have been built without the assistance of augmented workers. And when it's finished, my little hole in the ocean is going to stop global warming. A lovely photo op, wouldn't you say?
If it works.
You mean, if it doesn't kill us all?
Adam? You're back. Can I speak to you outside? Get to the helipad, son. You're going back to Hengsha Island. Frank tracked down one of the GPLs.
Only one? Is it?
Sevchenko's. But Adam, we had to call in a favor of the DOD to do it.
Meaning the conspirators probably know I'm coming.
Well, that's quite an interesting turn of events. Mr. Darrow seems to be quite a charming motherfucker, and all that ever does is make me more and more doubtful. And so it seems one of the scientists has been tracked down by his global locator thingamadoo. I'm going the wrong way. Alright. And so, I guess we're on our way back to Shanghai to check out to check out the signal that we found.